Opening the meeting at 7:08. Meeting called to order. Please rise. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll call members, please.
Councilmember Rochester. Aye. Councilmember Moore.
Aye.
Councilmember Hunter.
Aye.
Supervisor Champlain.
Aye.
And Councilmember Boring is absent.
Okay. At this time, are they all set? I think
Yeah, you just have to join the meeting.
we're going to join the meeting. This is a presentation from the Small Business Association.
Do I need a speaker?
Oh, I see when her lips move.
Has been.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, thanks.
Okay, great. Hi, I'm Thomas Trombley, Town Supervisor.
Hi, how are you, sir? Can you hear me? Can you see me? I don't know if you can hear me or see me.
Yes, both, actually.
Okay, great, great. Well, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
So if you can just let me know where we're at and what you're ready for, or?
Well, I thought you were going to give us some sort of presentation. We received the material kind of late, so I haven't really reviewed it thoroughly. Can you
Okay,
give us
that's fine.
Can you give us a rundown?
I can.
Okay.
I sure can. I sure can. Okay, so what I wanted to let you know is that Clinton County is the recipient of disaster recovery resources. And that is the result of a piece of brand new legislation called the Rural Communities Act. And I've been hearing from quite a few of the towns that a lot of their communities didn't really receive a lot of damage as a result of the floods, July 9th and 10th, and so I wanted to know what the situation was in your community.
Well, I'm not really certain if there was a lot of personal damage to people's homes or not. I haven't
Right.
really been appraised of that, but we did have some damage to one of our small bridges, one of our roads. It's a bridge over
Right.
Beaver Creek, and we've had it closed ever
Okay.
since.
Okay, so that actually makes sense to me because the Rural Communities Act was designed to finally give individual assistance to communities that didn't usually qualify for individual assistance. So let me just take a quick step back and say, the way communities get assistance beyond is whenever there's any sort of a disaster, what the state has to do is they have to assess what their own capabilities are. And if it's something that exceeds what they're capable of, then they get to then reach out to the federal government for FEMA assistance and SBA assistance. And the first thing I want to tell you is that we know the name doesn't inform people of this, but the SBA does provide disaster assistance to homeowners and renters, as well as businesses and nonprofits. So that's the first piece of information I want everybody to know and embrace. We actually provide more disaster recovery assistance than FEMA does. We are a special branch of the Small Business Administration, not what people normally think of when they hear SBA, and that's government-backed loans that you apply for through a bank when you're starting a business. So I want everybody to get familiar with thinking SBA and disaster, because a lot of people are missing out on a lot of resources, and I mean homeowners, renters, and businesses. So I don't know what this disaster might mean, but I want everybody to lock that firmly into their minds from this moment forward, okay? SBA provides more disaster assistance than FEMA. So that's the first takeaway I want everybody to have, and you can probably tell that I'm very passionate about this. Because I didn't know about this. My husband and I had small businesses for 30+ years, and let alone that we lived in a very New Englandy, waterbound community. So that's the first thing I want you to know. So when I say that your state government has to assess what they can handle, that means, by numbers, there has to be a certain number of homes and businesses in a community that get damaged. And this is why small communities like your own never make the cut.
Right,
You follow what I'm saying?
we do.
And this has been going on. Well, the SBA has been in existence since 1953. They've been providing disaster assistance since the 70s. So this has been going on for a long time. So finally, I'm here to tell you, your government heard you. And at the end of 2022, the Rural Communities Act was passed, and that was to finally get some equitable distribution of disaster recovery funds. And this is the first declaration in New York under the Rural Communities Act. The act went into effect July 31st. Now, your disaster happened July 9th and 10th. So what I'm telling you is your government went to work for you and got it to apply retroactively. So it happens sometimes, folks.
Sometimes it comes
So
together.
what that means now, oh, I'm sorry, sir?
I said sometimes it all comes together then, yes.
It does. So what that means now is only one property, a business or a home in a county needs to be damaged. And there's a formula to that, and your emergency manager knows what that is. For an entire county to qualify for these funds. And if you look at all the blah, blah, blah on that fact sheet I gave you, what I want you to notice is homeowners can qualify for a loan at 2.5%, up to $500,000, payable over 30 years for physical damages. That's what, it's not a grant, but it's a 2.5% loan, payable over 30 years. Plus an additional $100,000 for any personal property. And this is where renters come in. That can cover a car, that can cover all of their personal property. And this applies to businesses. For businesses, the interest rate is 4%, up to $2 million. For nonprofits, it's 2.375%. The first year, it's 0% interest, 0 payments, and the interest does not accrue during that first year. This can provide some real relief For your communities, again, this is coming in December. The deadline to apply for the physical damages is January. A lot of people maybe made their repairs. That's fine. If they put it on a credit card or they took it out of savings, they can take this funding and pay themselves back.
Does it cover 100%? Let's say, I can think of a couple of examples. So one would be
Yes.
A basement completely flooded, so then had to hire remediation to pump it out, dry it out, prevent the mold, etc. Is that covered?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up. SBA is also providing an additional 20% over and above the actual damage. Say your damages were $50,000. They're loaning an additional 20% for mitigation, preventative measures, strengthening, hardening, so this type of damage won't happen again. And it doesn't have to even be related to flood. Say, you wanna build a fire shelter. Say you wanna build a storm room. Whatever type of mitigation or home hardening that is pressing mostly on your heart, you can apply that 20% towards. Anything that's going to improve your home towards any sort of disaster.
Could you clarify what you mean by that 20%?
So anything that's going to improve, so say say your basement was flooded.
Mm-hmm.
If you have trees that are leaning on your house, that are going to clearly blow over, so says a professional, and damage your roof. Mitigation might involve removing trees
Right.
that are going to cause damage in the next mild wind. If you get an estimate that says, so anything that's going to improve the hardening and strengthening of your home.
They would cover 20% of that cost, is that what you're saying?
Oh, no, whatever your assessed damages are from the disaster,
Mm-hmm.
The flooding, they'll give you an extra 20% of whatever that dollar value is, but you can take that, whatever that dollar value is, and use that
Got it.
money towards whatever
Okay, now it's clear.
kind of mitigation you want.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. How
Yeah.
about agriculture, how about farms?
So now, farming, this is what I'll say about farming is, in general, SBA, the federal government has, we don't duplicate benefits. So what that means is, if your insurance covered something, we deduct that from the amount of your loan. So, getting to your question about farming, if the USDA pays for something, like I think they are very particular, they're like crop damage.
Right.
We work hand in hand with the USDA. So, for example, I spent 5 months in Indiana after the tornadoes there, and I worked a lot with Purdue. They do a lot with agriculture. And they were surprised at what we cover. And so we do not cover strictly agriculture, farming, but we cover a lot of ancillary things. For example, if two farmers share a silo, or they put once they harvest, we cover the silo. cooperative, the silo.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So there's a lot that we do cover. If the farmer repairs machinery in his sheds during off-season, and he has a machine business, we cover that. If his home gets damaged, we cover his home. So basically, whatever the USDA doesn't cover,
Right,
we most likely will.
okay. So if they had damage to
So
buildings,
it's-
et cetera, related to that storm, they could be covered.
Correct. So it's a question of, working together with the USDA and so on and so forth. Yes, so.
Okay.
And there's no cost to apply. There's no obligation to take the loan. So there's really no downside. And there's actually a very big upside to applying and saying, I don't want the loan. For example, there's a couple of examples. The Colorado wildfires. Long after, the fires, the town, of course, did their due diligence, and they decided they needed to impose code upgrades to have certain, fire-rated building materials. Even people who got 100% payout on their homeowners insurance are not going to be able to rebuild because it's triple the expense. Folks who applied for the SBA loans and said, no, I don't want it, I'm not going to need it. My insurance is going to cover me, even though it's years after the fact. Write a little note. Gee, SBA, we had no idea this unanticipated thing was happening. The administrator has the discretion to say, yeah, that's an unexpected thing. She has the discretion to waive the time period to accept the loan. People who did not apply, it's like a black and white. She has no discretion to even open the portal to allow application. I saw this over and over again, even with Hurricane Ida, when COVID hit and the supply chain, got tight and building materials went up. People were applying for modifications saying, my contractor can't abide by the cost. I need a modification to increase my loan. And over again, I was doing a different job at SBA, obviously. I was working inside doing loan things. Over and over again, SBA granted the opening and modification. I think I saw 12 and 13 loan modifications over and over again. So that's one benefit of applying and even saying, no, I'm not going to take it. Another thing, sometimes a denial of an SBA loan is like, I call it the Willy Wonka golden ticket. And you're like, what's this lady talking about? Couple of things. I was just at a disaster in Philadelphia, and they actually asked SBA to come back and reopen a center to help people apply, even though they knew most of them would not qualify because they were on a fixed income, they were disabled vets, but they needed them to apply and get denied because they had a state grant that required the people to be denied the SBA loan in order for them to qualify to get a state grant. They also had another loan program I just happened to notice, I was online researching this grant, that in order for people to qualify for this grant program, they had to have been denied Hurricane Ida loans by the SBA. So, and lastly, I can tell you, when there's a major presidential type disaster declaration and FEMA comes in, what happens is people apply for FEMA and they get an email that says, apply for SBA, with SBA for a loan, and a lot of them say,
we got a lot.
SBA, hey, why are they sending me here? And we get it, you know, SBA, you know, I don't have a business, but you must apply and be denied for an SBA loan to then be referred back to FEMA for what they think they're applying for in the first place with FEMA, which is the bigger pool of grant money, the FEMA trailers, the additional assistance. What everybody's initially applying for in FEMA, and they don't realize it, is what's called the Safe, Secure, and Sanitary Fund, and that's really gets you a housing voucher. And it's bad communication. The system is not working properly, but so we just say, apply, stay within the federal circle. But, so the second takeaway is the counties almost now can keep in communication with your emergency manager whenever there's any kind of a storm. They know how to access and apply for and do the calculations, because you never know. You would be really surprised when you can trigger the ability to get these federal resources. And we want you to get them as often as possible. It's your money, it's the bottom line. We're just recycling it back into the economy. So
Anita, do we have to go through the Clinton County to apply, or can people apply directly to SBA?
no, we're a direct lender. You
Okay.
apply directly. There's a website on the bottom of that sheet there. And you apply directly with the SBA, and I encourage everyone, if you run into any technical glitches, you have problems uploading a document, you get a spinning, don't aggravate yourself, call the customer service. They usually have an alternate method, a secret email or something. We're here to serve you. You're disaster survivors, and you know, please, there's no downside. If it's not this declaration, it might be another. This might be a practice run, if nothing more, but we want everybody to access these resources. Don't prejudge yourself. We have a second type loan, you know, the EIDL loans, similar to the COVID loans that businesses and nonprofits can apply for, which is the later date on your sheet there. It's sometime late in 2024, it might be September.
Yeah, September 3rd.
Okay, so we might come around at a later date and maybe do a webinar on that. We'll alert you to that. I just want everybody to be aware about the physical injury stuff first.
Okay, can I ask another question?
Yeah.
So,
You can ask as many as you like.
well, this just came to mind. So this is based around the storm for July 9th and 10th. And I realized
Yes, sir.
there was a lot of damage, especially in outlying townships from us. But we had some damage that hit, you know, a week to 2 weeks later. Rain continued. The previous storm had left a high enough water table that we had more, actually, I believe the bridge may have been just after the 10th because of the water coming down from from the mountains. So are we locked into July 9th and 10th? If any damage took place on the 15th, is it not able to be applied for?
I say to you,
Try it, right?
you know, if there was, you know, kind of like a continuing like period that your people, your residents, that they were cleaning up and, you know, and you know, they've got like receipts. I mean, I've been in so many disasters and things myself. What I can tell you is it takes time to clean these things up, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And fix things, and, you know, it's not something you can get to right away.
So
I
would you
mean,
advise
it's a
folks-
month.
Would you advise folks then to go ahead and fill out the application regardless if it was outside of that date?
I'd say fill it out. You know, this is December and January, you know, you fill it out. I mean, fill it out, submit your receipts. I mean, it's not like, you know, you're gonna be submitting receipts from yesterday and today. I mean, these incidences tend to be ongoing. You know, these are loans, these are not grants. You're paying this back. I have a little, if you wonder what I'm doing, I have my little friend here with me. She travels with me. We call her Disaster Dolly. So if you just wonder what I'm doing. She's my little travel companion. I haven't been home since March. I go from disaster to disaster.
Oh, wow.
I'm here locally, but sometimes these meetings get a little late. So these are loans. These are not grants. This is your money, as I said. So you know, what happens is we sometimes we have what are called loss evaluators that come out and look at the damage, you know, but that's usually when it's occurred right around, you know, like it's still ongoing, if you will. But since this has happened 6 months ago, they're gonna pretty much be relying heavily on photos and receipts. And, yeah, no, like I said, you're not looking, you know, your citizens are not looking to claim things, you know, 6 months before or 6 months after. You know, you're looking at a reasonable range.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'd say you're in the safe zone,
Okay.
yeah.
You guys have any, does the board have
And,
any questions for us?
And the reason I was talking about your bridge is, so, you know, why that made sense to me is the president, in order to qualify for a rural declaration, the president has to declare that there is public assistance available without individual assistance. I totally buried the lead there. So there should be some sort of assistance, available to fix your bridge.
Well, it's a little convoluted because we were already proceeding with a grant from New York State for, you know, Bridge New York. It's just that the bridge fell apart a little prematurely because of the storm, and so it is gonna be fixed in the spring. We do have a chunk of costs that will be against the town, and then there's the fact that it's closed until then, until it's fixed. So it's not as cut and dry as it's been damaged and we have no funds available. So I kind of just use that as an example and wondering how this worked, that's all.
Right, well, there is public assistance. There's, you know, part of how you get a rural declaration is the president has to declare public assistance available. And, you know, I don't know to what extent that applies, but if you want, I can check into it for you.
Sure.
There's a couple of 2-3 people I'll be touching base with that I can kind of just make some general inquiries. I'll be happy to do that for you.
Yeah, well, like I said, we're already rebuilding it, scheduled to rebuild it under a Bridge New York grant. And then there's,
All
$40,000
right,
to $50,000 that's gonna be out of pocket from the town
well,
to gap,
maybe there's
to
a
gap that.
federal grant to cover your part.
Okay.
I'll have to do a little subtle poking around for you. I'll be happy to do that.
Okay, please let me know.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, it would.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, that sounds good, thank you.
Okay. I'll do a little poking around and see what I can find out. All right.
Any other board members have a
I'm
question?
available for any questions. I'm your contact person. Feel free to refer, there is a center in the town of Ellenburg. If people wanted to go, that's probably a distance from you, for people to travel to.
20 some odd miles, it's not bad.
Yeah, if people wanted to go, it's in the press release. If people wanted to go, we're only scheduled to be physically on the ground there until the 22nd. They're certainly welcome to go. We have people there that can help them. But the online application and the customer service, they're wonderful there, so.
Okay,
All right, everybody, feel free to email me, call my cell phone. The number is the office number. I don't think I've ever been to Atlanta, where our main office is. So if I don't know the answer, I'll try and find out the answer for you.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Oh, and just generally, approximately how many people have attended this meeting?
In the quorum here, you mean, or, so you have the board members,
Yes.
and there's 2 others in the audience,
But it's taped.
and it's taped, so this is videotaped, and a lot of folks just watch the video once we post it. It's usually posted within a couple of days,
Great.
so then it goes out to, there's 5,500 folks in the township, so maybe 4 or 5% of those are watching.
You and your little dog will be a celebrity.
Can you still hear us, Anita?
That, darling, thank you.
Okay,
Okay, thank you. You guys have been very gracious.
thank you for bringing this all to our attention.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Sounds like she's on the road a lot, huh?
Yeah.
It does.
I don't blame her for bringing her little dog with her. It's gotta be hard to be here, there, and all over the place.
Okay,
So is this something that we can put on the website?
Yes.
Just to make
yeah,
the
that's what I'm thinking.
community members aware?
And if you know anybody personally,
Mhm.
have them go online and check it out.
Yeah, it's, and when's the next time bills go out? I'm just wondering if I think it's gonna be past the date though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was
That's the problem.
yeah, it's the end of this month.
Deadline for property damage
Can we
is
put on our
January
Facebook page
30th.
as well?
I would. Yeah, anything we can put out, I mean,
But we need to be clear, it is a loan, it is not a grant.
correct.
I was trying to get real clarification to that anyways, so.
Well, I'm wondering if we could even put a copy of the document.
Yeah.
Of this document, so I think this is well done. So,
But it might be useful for folks that wanna build a preventative measure from something occurring again.
Correct.
That they might
On
wanna,
a partial seawall or something.
yeah, or put drainage in, but they really can't afford to, they know they need to. This might be an opportunity to do it at little to no interest. So. Okay. Approval of the minutes, previous meeting?
I'll make a motion that we approve November 14th minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. And do we have any presentations or petitions, communications? No? Okay, thank you. Report from the supervisor? Good evening. Here we are in December again already. I want to wish everyone a safe, healthy, and Merry Christmas. And by the way, there's only 13 days left. Get your shopping done. Congratulations to our NCCS All-Star Section 7 soccer athletes. Girls, Desiree Dubois, Bailey LaFountain, Lacey Roberts, and Kylie Supernaw. And the boys, Nick Tremblay, our Coach of the Year, and James Wells, MVP, Jordan Brown, Ashton Turner, and Sam Prairie. Also, congratulations to our NCCS athletes selected to All-State Soccer 2023 Class B All-State. Desiree Dubois for girls, James Wells for boys. And congratulations to all of our Northern Tier Section 7 athletes who achieved these honorable goals. Distinct recognition to Shazy girls soccer senior Sam Gagnon, who was selected to All-State Soccer 2023 Class D All-State. Sam's mom, our secretary bookkeeper, Sarah Gagnon, was selected to All-State in 1986 and 1987. They are Shazy's first mother and daughter soccer athletes to ever achieve this honor. Congrats to both of you.
Yay.
Yes.
Okay. Attended the Battlefield Memorial Ribbon Cutting Ceremony in Plattsburgh. This was such a significant achievement for the town of Plattsburgh and the Clinton County Historical Society. This was the completion of Phase 1 of the project. Congratulations, town of Plattsburgh and the Historical Society. Attended newly elected officials training with our newly elected council member, Dorothea Southwick. This was offered by the Association of Towns and was very informative. Topics were different from 2 years ago when I attended, and as always, refreshers are valuable. Attended the Champlain Fire District's meeting. I presented the quote for the Stetson Road Bridge mounted dry hydrant, and they approved to fund 50% of this project. Thank you, CFD. Attended an update meeting with National Fitness Center, NFC, regarding our fitness center for Bob Van Park. Discussion was around the 2024 application for funding. We have recently been awarded a 2024 round of funding of $50,000 from MVP. I met with James Moser to discuss the projects coming up at Bob Van Park. We are requesting a quote to update the park's drawing to include the project courts. This will be addressed under new business. Hosted our leadership meeting December 5th. Discussions regarding our shared service contracts for code enforcement, purchase of a heavy-duty roller to be shared with both villages, and a new codes enforcement software. The roller and the software are both eligible for the New York State Shared Service Program from the county. I am working with county to get these applications completed in January. Attending planning and zoning training, hot button topics by New York State, hosted by Clinton County. The topics were very informative, and the knowledge will be useful as we undergo our update to our comprehensive plan. So I've learned a lot of new things that I was not aware of. We held our walk audit with the Clinton County Health Department last month, and we identified many areas that could benefit from this round of grant funding. A comprehensive list has been compiled by the Health Department, and they created a survey for the community. Please visit our webpage or our Facebook page to complete the survey. We are continuing to move forward with our marketing initiatives, and this will be reported by Council Member Bory. And I need to add one thing here. I was contacted, oh my goodness. I was contacted by a senior in the
Honor Society.
thank you, the Honor Society, about putting in a gaga ball court at the park. So I've responded asking them to give us more information. I requested whether they would want to write letters to some of the organizations to help fund it. From what I don't know if you looked, I sent all of you the link to that. I mean, it's not real expensive to put this in, but I was very impressed.
Still don't understand it, but.
It's kind of like dodgeball. Anyways, I gotta add that, I missed it, I wanted to talk about that. So hopefully they'll give us a letter and possibly attend the next meeting, that'd be nice. Report on projects. The Ridge Road Water Booster Station upgrades, we're getting close. The upgrades to the equipment and plumbing are all complete. The vendor has been researching to determine how to correct the alarming capability of the hardware. We just received a confirmation they are working to get this corrected. This is the last item left to complete the project. So hopefully next month we can wait that one off as complete. Revision to our comprehensive plan. Currently waiting for the executed contract from Department of State to sign. And as soon as we receive and sign the contracts from both DOS and AES, we will begin scheduling our workshops. The Miramar properties, the 19 acres with the mall. Currently waiting for round 8 Restore New York funding to open and start the application process. I have not had any confirmation as to when that will be. It's kind of discouraging, can't find anything on it. The 22 acres behind it that was submitted for housing, Clinton County IDA is currently planning on a countywide feasibility study to include this property and possibly others within the town. Bob Webb Fitness Center project. The scope of this project consists of the outdoor fitness center, a double pickleball court, and a basketball court. We have completed rounds of funding applications for DASNY grant funding to fund the majority of this project. Several organizations have donated this year and have pledged for 2024. Since we do not have these funds all in hand, we will complete applications to Natural Fitness Center and MVP for fall 2024 completion. We have done that, and we received notification that we've been accepted for the 2024 funding year for MVP. We just submitted the diligence documentation that we've been working on for weeks. Now we wait to see what's next. I just read an email that said it's a minimum of 45 days to review all that paperwork I just sent in. So, stay tuned. Another error. Public announcement. If anyone needs assistance scheduling for RSV and/or COVID vaccines, you may contact us at the Town of Champlain office. We will assist you with the online process. The Rouse's Point Fire Department will hold its parade of lights in the village of Rouse's Point on December 16th at 7 p.m. Correct me if I'm wrong on these. Our town offices will be closed half-day Friday, December 22nd and Monday, December 25th to observe the Christmas holiday. The next defensive driving course is being held on January 27th, 2024. This will be held at the Rouse's Point Civic Center Meeting Room. Thank you to Rouse's Point for hosting, and just check our web pages for more specifics on that as it gets closer. We don't have the details. Our town offices will be closed Monday, January 1st to observe the New Year's holiday.
And half-day the Friday before.
Thank you, Sarah. And also half-day the Friday before. What, 29th, I believe?
Yes.
Yes.
So that would be December 29th. Please note, I am in my office every weekday from 9:45 to 1, roughly. Please feel free to stop in, and I'll be happy to discuss the town's projects and objectives with you. My door is always open, but it may be best to call first as there are many appointments and meetings that fill my schedule. Thank you to all of our veterans and active military men and women for your service. And thank you to all of our first responders, both paid and volunteer, of our EMS and fire departments. And thank you to our police officers for your dedication to your community. Please have a safe, pleasurable holiday season. Happy holidays and Happy New Year's to everyone. Thank you. Report from the council members. side we wanna start with this time? Brian? Councilmember Moore?
I don't have anything to report.
Okay.
It's short and simple.
I don't have an awful lot either. Champlain Fire Department will be holding their next commissioners meeting, I believe on the 19th at 7 o'clock. They're still awaiting final approval for the new building from Rural Development. So that's all to report on CFD. Nothing other than what you reported for the Rouse's Point Fire Department. And in terms of EDU reports, I provided Julie with an email. There is a new single-family dwelling that's being built, and the water was established at the curb stop, and it's of course not yet to the house because the house is in primary construction mode. So that's all that I have.
Okay. Thank you, Councilmember Hunter.
You're welcome.
Councilmember Rochester.
There is an election going on tonight at the Champlain Fire Department for the fire commissioner from 6 to 9.
Okay.
In fact, I have to scoot out of here, so
Number
if
six.
there's anything that we need to have vote on,
Get it done?
yeah, within the next hour.
Okay. We will try to do that.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
And if we get out in time, I'll run over too.
Good. Those little old ladies in the back, they get lonesome.
Okay, anything else?
No, I can't think of anything.
Thank you.
Other than I will miss you guys very much when I'm no longer with you.
One more meeting.
Likewise.
One more meeting.
One more, yeah, our special
Right.
meeting for closing of.
Well, every
the year.
meeting we have is special.
Thank you for that. Well, thank you very much, Councilmember Rochester.
You're quite welcome.
Report from the town clerk.
Do you have my report that needs approval?
Mhm.
I make a motion that we approve the town clerk's report for November 1st through November 30th as submitted.
And I'll second that.
Thank you. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried. Report approved. Any further reports, Julie? Okay, review of the post-audit bills, AKA the abstract. Any questions on that? If not, we will move on to the approval of the monthly bills. We'll get a motion to, there's also additionals. We'll get a motion on the floor in a second, and a discussion if there's need be.
I'll make a motion that we approve the bills as presented. And go from there.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any discussion now?
Can we just kind of identify the total amount, please, for the viewers, please, Tom?
For the viewers and also for the motion.
Please.
So the total bill list is $110,625.85 with an additional bill of $100.50 totaling $110,726.42. And there was let's just say a substantial amount of, repairs that were done to equipment for highway.
Well, there were 76 different items that amassed that 110,000, so.
That's correct.
So it's important to let people know that that's not just a few things, a few items.
No. Any discussion? If not, could I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Rochester,
Aye.
Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Councilmember Hunter,
Aye.
Supervisor Trombley.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, report from Codes Enforcement Officer. With that, if you have any questions, I can try to the public, that's an informal report for the board. For our information, to know what's being addressed here in the town. So this is a comprehensive list of all those being addressed.
So that lift pump station's running fine now?
Well, it's not like we never have trouble with it. It's running much better, but he has had a couple of issues with it, and we've worked through it, and the past week or two has been quiet. It was rebuilt, repaired, it still gives us trouble. Like, for an example, if a slug of, we think sometimes it's a slug of grease from the grease traps from the restaurants, make it down there. That'll give us some trouble. He needs to flush it out and manually pump things and get it cleared. It does require attention.
Historically, is it gonna be more of an issue as weather becomes colder, or?
I don't think so. I don't think
Most
so.
everything
I
gets
wish
worse
Chris was
when
here
it gets
to
colder.
answer that, because I don't think so though. I've seen this going on through all sorts of weather. Okay?
Just so you know, on here where that customer had an unpaid bill for repairs,
Right.
they came in and paid today.
Okay.
The one,
So page
3 from the
12,
bottom,
12.
or 4 from the bottom?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Good. Okay, give the reports from the DOC, the dog control officer. You'll see it was fairly busy, not the worst that we've seen, but fairly busy.
So we can anticipate that report in January that he's referencing here.
Yeah, which,
There's, how many dogs brought to the SPCA, as well as how many dog bites that took place in the town of Champlain. So we look forward to receiving them.
okay. Should I remember to shoot a message, I'm looking forward to seeing that in January. Maybe over here. Okay.
What's new in Allen's world, the highway department?
No, to take care of roads, I'm trying to think of any real issues, and there haven't been really anything pressing.
Okay.
I've been talking to him about kind of preparing for next summer when we start prepping those sites in the Bob Van Park. I did find out, I believe you were copied an email, Brian, that my concern was the critical nature of that concrete pad to put that fitness center on. I've got the spec sheets on it, and it's about, I don't know, a dozen or so pages. It's very detailed, but I did find out they're sending somebody up here to oversee that.
So is that gonna precede Mosier's work that's gonna be done to determine where everything is gonna go?
Yeah, he's just gonna determine where it fits.
Okay.
Okay, so his site plan will be approximate footage within 3 feet roughly. He's not a surveyor,
Correct.
but he will be able to say, this will fit here, the parking lot will fit here, the pickleball courts can fit here. So that's what that's about. So we have something for Alan to follow in regards to staking those things out. Any other questions in regard to highway?
No?
Okay. Correspondence, and I'm quite sure this first one on there, letter to the Champlain EMS, I believe that, isn't that a duplicate of number 4 as well? I think it got duplicated by accident when I went through it tonight. But anyways, that's the letter of support. in regards to the certificate of need operating authority with the Village of Rouse's Point. Then LaBerge Group sent us a letter preparing for success in 2024, so.
We've never worked with that group, so this is a new group that's just kind of making us aware of their,
It's not new, because I think
We've worked with
you've worked with
them
them before I was elected.
Yeah.
Or-
Uh,
for what jobs were they?
Simple jobs, I'm trying to remember, you know, the booster station was one, they helped us, I believe on the new water system, you know,
Mhm.
stuff like that, advice. We don't really have
A
a
history.
town attorney, yeah, I mean, they're looking to put on the list of town engineers.
Right, that's what I'm
Well,
wondering,
we
that's the
don't-
way I read the
We
letter.
don't,
We don't actually specify that. I know.
right, we take who's
We
available.
we do it case by case,
Yes,
based on, you know, based on the referral of the cost.
So we have nothing in the pipeline with them at this present
No.
time? Okay,
No,
thank you.
not at this present time, but it's
Okay.
good to remember them, okay?
Thank you.
Department of State, 2023 Champlain Smart Growth Comprehensive Planning Grant. As you can see, we applied. Now, this wasn't for the comp plan, this was for the zoning updates resulting from the comp plan. So we were trying to get ahead. So AES filed that application for us with the hopes that we'd be in the comp plan currently, and we'd have monies available to get started in 2024 with updating codes. I did request a debriefing for CFA. The meeting is tomorrow. It's a Zoom meeting tomorrow that I'll be attending. You're welcome to stop in if you want to be part of it.
what time is that?
I want to say 10 or noon.
Somewhere in there.
10 o'clock. I thought it was be valuable information to find out if there's a criteria that we missed, why we didn't get the funding, because it wasn't clear in the letter. You know, if it was anything specific, kind of sounds like the pot was used up, but, and then also to confirm that we're gonna reapply right away for the next round of funding. Congratulations. Okay, this is on the 2024 MVP campaign. This is the letter telling us that we have been accepted. There's supposed to be, we'll be doing a resolution tonight. And I'm expecting a meeting with them, a Zoom meeting soon to lay that out, as they did last time. Usually once they give you that letter of acceptance, they follow up with a phone call or a Zoom meeting. The resolution could have waited next month, but I wanted to get it off the agenda now because our organizational meeting is long enough. So they approved doing it now. Moser Engineering, so this is the site plan you were just referring to, Rick?
Correct.
I've got that on new business, number 2. Hopefully to approve that so you can get started. And we have SNS Heating Systems. That's on item number 3 on new business. That quote will need to be approved as well. I'm kind of jumping ahead and calling that correspondence. So let's back up. We're starting new business. Meyer, sorry. Okay, on the new business, first thing I'd like to appoint Natasha Nevius as a member of the zoning board. So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Natasha Nevius to the open seat on the zoning board. Do I have a second?
I'll second that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Ann. Any discussion?
It should be very valuable.
Yes, and she's
Very good.
been an alternate now for way over a year. I can't remember exactly when we appointed her as alternate, so thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Carries, thank you. Okay, now I'm doing this right. The Moser Engineering for the site plan, we have a motion, this is a fee of $500 to update that plan, and put the, all the additional items that we're looking to add this summer onto that drawing.
So he's a surveyor,
No,
No,
he's
he's,
not,
Engineer.
right,
professional
yeah,
engineer.
he's a civil engineer.
correct. So this is how he did do you remember what year that was done, Brian, the first drawing?
Going on, I think, 2001.
2001?
2001.
So we have a current,
We had some, yeah.
we have a current site plan, which basically shows the flagpole, ball fields, soccer field.
Yeah.
And of course, it doesn't have the additional 2 3/4 acres included. Since we're moving forward on that, that's what this is about, is adding that 2 3/4 acres and plotting things out accordingly.
Yeah. Are we gonna meet and discuss what we're looking for at Bob Empire before we approach him with exactly what we're looking for him to place?
I would think so, we're not gonna give him free rein, just kind of pick out where.
No, so I had I'll call it a preliminary meeting to let him know what we're looking for in order to get a quote, and I laid out all the additional pieces that need to go in there. But yes, if we'd like to meet as, together, Brian,
Yeah.
and go in
I
detail
would just,
before he draws it.
yeah, I'm keep pushing that we have a lot of parking. 'Cause once.
Well, he asked me how many spaces, and I told him at least 60, because that's what he had planned in
Usually,
before.
I'm thinking 90 would make much more sense.
If the space is available.
It should be available, yeah, with that new product.
Parcel.
But it's a lot easier to do it the first time around than it is
To add.
to add. And you get, you've got a lot, once that gets going, it won't take long to fill it up.
Okay.
And
That's true.
you don't want people parking on the edge of the street, edge of the road, you don't want, which they do now, they drive down onto the ball field, you know, to park, they literally do that, and,
Well, that's not because there's not
No,
enough space,
no,
that's
well-
because they're lazy and don't wanna walk.
but we need to put that into
Let's
the,
call an
Let's be
ACES.
honest.
no, but we need to put that into the plan so that
Correct.
people can't go down there. You know,
Right.
that's the thing, you want so
To avoid that.
To avoid that,
Yeah,
yes.
I agree.
mean, it can really do some damage to,
And just think of the extra exercise they would be getting. So
they don't
beneficial.
even have to use the trail.
Right.
Okay, so yes, I will, before it moves forward, I will schedule a meeting with them, so we can go over it one more time. Especially since
Safer
if you
than
feel
sorry.
strongly about 90
Well-
spaces, I had told them 60, so yeah, we need to.
I really do, because it will be used, one way or the other. It doesn't take much, and,
It catches on.
since we're not, we're not doing any paving at this point or
Mhm.
anything, so it's good to get the base in and get it pat down, rather than in the future trying to put it on at the last minute if we.
Yeah, it's gotta be done in phases.
Yeah.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the quote, though? Yes, $500.
Well, that seems reasonable for what he's got to add.
I think it is.
Nothing is inexpensive these
Yeah.
days.
It should be to scale, so that's something, give us an idea of
Mhm.
how everything will fit. It's an unusual lot going, the further down you go.
It's wider.
It's, yeah,
It's a little different.
Yeah.
Configuration.
And I actually told him to try to put in I couldn't give him a size, but a substantial space for the military memorial that we're hoping to build. And I gave him that location that you were considering. And I did
Yeah.
confirm that it's not DEC wetlands.
Oh, good.
that would be great then, because you can't do much with that space.
Mhm.
but that would be perfect for memorial, you know, right on the edge, on the other side, between the trail and the solar farm, right, that little area in there, there's a tree or two planted in it, at least one tree.
It's on the right side.
Yeah, it's in that curve. It's pretty much across from where the gazebo sits now. So, yeah, it's a good location. We'll just have to, I think we'll have to add some fill there.
Yeah, well, there is some fill there already.
Well, we're gonna be digging for these courts, so we can probably go over there.
No, it's true.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not wetlands.
it's great.
That is
That-
good news.
I mean, it's offset, I just like the thought because it's offset so that people aren't, sitting on things they aren't supposed to, or playing around with a flagpole or whatever we have there, or the plaques, it's kind of separate, so you go over to see it, you don't, it's not part of the recreation area,
Mhm.
and,
No, I like the spot too. I agree with it, Brian. Anyways, do you wanna approve the quote?
there's a motion,
No, there's no motion yet.
I'll make a motion, we approve the quote.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Could I have a roll call? Any more discussion? If not, could I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Rochester,
Aye.
Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Councilmember Hunter,
Aye.
Supervisor Trombley.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, S&S Heating Systems. This is for the Renai heater. Sent you all emails on it. You need to approve this expenditure. We didn't receive an invoice yet, did we, Sarah? We did. It's minus that $65, correct?
There was something about
Okay.
that. They needed
So
to
it's
do the heater.
$2,300
It
even.
wasn't done. The email had to do with the heater wasn't installed, we needed one in there, and that's what
The old heater was
Kaput,
gonna
right?
fail real
was gonna
fast.
fail, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
the,
this,
yeah,
this was to replace it.
the winter season is here.
Mhm.
It is
Yeah, you guys all approved it via email. This is to
Yeah.
approve the
expenditure.
expenditure itself. But it's minus that $65 drop leg assembly because it did have one there. It was on the outside of the building. It wasn't realized.
No.
So it's
So tracking.
$2,300 even. So I make a motion to approve the $2,300 expenditure for the Renai heater installed.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any
That's a
discussion?
good brand name for those.
Yeah, it is. I've got one. I like it.
Do you?
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Rochester,
Aye.
Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Councilmember Hunter,
Aye.
Supervisor Trombley.
Aye, thank you. Okay, now you have in front of you the solar farm decommissioning plan for Nautilus Solar Energy LLC. This is the 242 Route 11 site that they will be starting construction next spring on. So in Rouse's Point. We tabled it last month. We have met via Zoom. In attendance was myself and Mr. Hunter and Mr. Moore. We added verbiage. This has been approved by the town attorney as well. Verbiage that got added, it's in the back. Right.
It's on page 11.
And no
I was
trees
thinking
were
3.8
harmed
maybe
or?
too. Yeah, page 11 has been revised,
That was
Significant.
revised a lot,
yeah, significantly.
but that was a crutch of the holdup.
Mhm. So it's very clear now on the renewal every year by the Surety. It's also very clear on how they're going to contact us and who they're gonna contact, which I asked the town clerk and town supervisor.
And I think they just had the clerk, didn't they? On the,
Some of it is actually.
Some of it.
was only the clerk,
Some of it,
correct.
well, that's fine, as long as the clerk gets it. As far as setting, for the decommissioning bond, that's fine. I don't need to get that, I'm in notifications.
No, I'm just talking about the bottom, of page 11.
Yeah, that's
So-
for the bond itself. So in other words, you will get that notification annually when they
Correct.
continuing it.
And it's important that you let us know,
Correct, and file it.
so it's not just overlooked.
Correct. So anyways, I welcome, oh, I was supposed to call in on this one, do you guys mind?
So we mind what?
Rupo wanted to be part of the conversation when we're ready to get to this.
I have no problem allowing him to be a part.
I don't know if we need them or not.
I don't think we do, but
I'll tell them we forgot.
Yeah.
we'll make it quick.
Should my name be on there or just town clerk?
Just town clerk, that way,
Yeah, they got.
And
my
that's
name.
why I think it should be town clerk. I made that note also,
Yeah.
so it shouldn't just be your name. It should just say the town clerk.
that way, if
10/7,
the office
29.
changes,
Correct.
this is
Yeah.
gonna carry on for 30 to 40
Yeah,
years,
I had that other question
Wow.
mark. I think that's
is what they're predicting, but we'll
You don't
see.
think I'll be here?
40 years? You wanna work for him?
You tell us.
You're
Julie.
for that.
Nobody else is.
See if you're feverish over there.
Find that found a youth, give us a call.
Well, 4 years, I'll still be young.
Well, I didn't say you would be. I
Julie,
just
come
don't know if you
on.
wanna be sitting in that seat.
Come on.
Only be 94.
Hello, Rupal, I apologize, I started discussing this and remembered I was supposed to give you a call.
That's okay, that's okay.
Okay, so we just reviewed the additions in the decommissioning plan, which, you know, were very extensive on page 11, and we're just getting ready to vote on it,
Okay.
okay? So I welcome a motion to approve the decommissioning plan as presented.
I make a motion that we approve the actual decommissioning plan as submitted.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
And just so our viewers know, this is gonna be located at 242 Route 11.
Yeah, I stated that at the beginning. This is the project that's going in just adjacent to Rouse's Point on Route 11, that last parcel of farmland. Okay? We need to roll call on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. So the plan is approved. Next on the list is the decommissioning bond. And again, we requested extra verbiage on this for protection for the town. And again, this has been reviewed and approved by the town attorney. I sent you that text.
You did.
Okay.
I was just waiting to hear back on the actual decommissioning language that leads to that. Good, there's that.
Okay, so I welcome a motion to approve the decommissioning bond as submitted.
I'll make that motion that we approve the decommissioning bond as it, in our favors, as presented to us by the.
Okay, thank you,
Solar farm.
And I'll second that motion.
thank you. Any further discussion on the bond? I believe Rupal, you could, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you emailed me that you were contacting the surety to get it started, so the bond number will be issued soon and we'll receive it, the town clerk will receive it
Yes, you should get it Thursday.
Thursday, okay.
I have one question, Rupal. On that first page of that decommissioning bond, at the bottom, prior to itemized number 1 in the highlighted text, It says accepted by the obligee. Should that say subjected to? Because subjust, I can't find a word that exists that is subjust.
Yeah, probably.
Thank you.
I'll double check with the surety.
Did you look in the lawyer's dictionary?
It doesn't exist. I had my son look at it and he goes, "Damn, that's not a word."
So it probably is subjective. It's a good catch. Thank you, Mr.
You
Hunter.
could probably, when you get it, you could, well, okay, let me talk to them and see how they wanna deal with that.
Okay. So you'll make that correction in some form.
Yes.
Okay, just shoot us an email, please, and let us know how it spelled
Yeah.
out.
And is it okay if the bond is, I had to process and get the bond issued, so it's on its way, so we wouldn't lose any time. But that's something that can get fixed, we can ask the surety to send a revised one
Okay,
with that fixed.
that's fine.
That might come a little bit later after, but it'll be on its way. I'll follow up with you so you know what's
Well,
going on there and how we're gonna fix that.
The one that is issued, will that have the corrected wording?
No, because I had to,
Because
process that.
So it's being
That's
processed,
why we had sent it around earlier, was hoping, to
okay.
get any feedback, and they take a few days, and then we have to sign it and FedEx it, and there's all these days that get lost. So I kind of had them issue it as is, but I think that can get fixed, so let me just,
Yeah,
let me
the
see.
name change is
Let me see what I
fine.
can do.
And
Yeah,
ask
thank
her
you.
if she can, on page 11 of the decommissioning plan at the bottom, if that can just be substituted, Julie Castine with the town clerk.
You don't want her name in there, do you?
Nope, I don't want her name. I
Just the
just want it to say
position.
town clerk.
Yeah.
Not that you're going anywhere. Just-
Okay, so we're going back to the decommissioning plan. Councilmember Hunter just pointed out that at bottom of page 11, we specified who the town clerk is. I know that you're doing that for clarity on where this bond will be first sent. But that clerk may change, throughout the period of the 30 to 40 years.
Sure. Makes sense. Okay.
Okay? So
Yeah.
it probably
Okay.
just take
You
her,
wanna fix that?
yeah, just take her name out of there, just leave the address. I think that would be
Okay.
fine.
Fair.
And as far as the wording of subjust, once she gets that new bond, once they come up with that verbiage, couldn't they make a hand change to that and sign for it? Or would you rather have it filed as is?
Our attorney approved it, so I think we can file it as is. I
Okay.
just think we need to make note of it now, and so that it can be changed.
Okay. Did you get that, Rupal?
So,
We're good
yeah,
with
so we make those changes, but we don't need to go back to board approval in a month?
That's correct.
No.
Okay, great, appreciate that, guys, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Tom, if you don't mind sending me a note with just the list of things that need to get changed, I'm just not in front of my computer right now.
Okay.
Then I'll be happy to get that facilitating and moving with surety. Yeah,
Thank you, Rupal, for everything.
And you submit your, applications and we'll, I'm sure that Chris will take care of that.
yeah, great. Yeah, I think he has the application on his desk, and then there's just, we're just getting him the final set plans, so. Okay, wonderful, thanks everyone for your time.
Thank you, sorry it took so long. We had a presentation at the beginning of the meeting and held us up.
No, that's fine, no problem at all.
Okay?
All right, I'll drop off, thanks, Tom, okay.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night.
Bye.
Okay, we need to set our date for our year-end meeting. So we usually do it after Christmas. How's the 28th look to everybody?
No, we're gone that, Sarah and I got doctors that day.
Oh, that's the day we couldn't do
Yeah.
it. Okay, how about the 29th?
No, do the 27th if we can. You gotta give me time to cut the checks and get them out and process.
Okay, I have an appointment in Plattsburgh at 10 a.m.
Are you free that afternoon?
Yeah, I am, or later, I mean, I should be back here by 11:30 or so. But afternoon's fine.
Yeah.
Can we do it later afternoon, because I work on Wednesdays now.
What's later?
Well, like say 3:30.
So,
Does that work for you, Sarah?
It's normally really quick, so
Yeah, if we don't throw a lot
is
of,
3 okay, or is that
extra
too
business.
still?
I probably can get out for 3.
Okay,
that would,
3 would be great,
27th at 3.
yeah, we get that, can we get that advertised, please? Thank you. Okay. Resolution number 36, to adopt funds for the outdoor fitness court. Resolution number 36, resolution to adopt and allocate funds for an outdoor fitness court as part of the 2024 National Fitness Campaign. At a meeting of the Town of Champlain Town Board held on December 12, 2023, wherein the following action was taken. Whereas the Town of Champlain has submitted a grant application to National Fitness Campaign and NFC for participation in their 2023 initiative to install and activate outdoor fitness courts in 200 cities and schools across the country. And whereas the Town of Champlain will accept a $50,000 national grant from our NFC Grant Committee and statewide partners and provide a local match in the match amount approved by NFC Grants Committee to promote and implement a free to the public outdoor fitness court. And whereas the Town of Champlain will secure supplemental funding as needed through community sponsors, which will be made available and committed to this program for the purchase of the outdoor fitness court. And whereas the Town of Champlain will commit to construction and launch of the outdoor fitness court by the end of the 2024 calendar year. And whereas the Town of Champlain Town Board believes the outdoor fitness court is an important wellness ecosystem that supports healthier communities, commits to funding and fundraising to participate in NFC's 2024 campaign, and will earn local and national recognition as a leader in providing affordable health and wellness. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town of Champlain Town Board will collaborate with NFC to implement the outdoor fitness court and make fitness free to community residents and visitors. Motion to approve, please.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. All in favor? Or any
Aye.
discussion, I should say, I'm sorry.
I guess the question that I have is, that remains, is after the amount of the grant, what do we have remaining out of the 157,000?
Right now, we're at 49,000. That is not deducting any of the commitments from the CVPH Foundation.
So you're saying there's 49,000 remaining, or 49,000
There's a
total?
$49,000 gap right now. After
That's what I'm
all-
asking.
after
So there's a
all the
gap.
After all the funding, yes, that's a gap. That's the one that we budgeted for during our budget meetings. We had budgeted 52. I have, it's been whittled down to 49, but that's based on more funding coming in, hoping somewhere in the tune of $20,000. Could be less, but we're working on it. If no other further discussion, we have, let's do a roll call, please.
Councilmember Rochester,
Aye.
Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Councilmember Hunter.
Aye.
Supervisor Trombley.
Aye. Thank you all. We'll have to Yeah, let's see. Scan it to them. Thank you, Julie. Okay, next thing, you have an email here. I mean, this has been, I know it's been brought up. I don't know how aware you guys were of this, but our DOC has requested either a cab for his truck to help in regards to moving these dogs, or a truck. So since we share the DOC with other townships, I think it's very difficult for us to purchase a vehicle, not only that expensive. There are vehicles available, like on a sort of county, stuff that's being turned in, that we could get reasonable, but I think this is a more reasonable purchase. It's whether or not you're willing to pick up a third of that cost. And we don't have an exact number, do we, Sarah?
No,
Does anybody know what we're?
It's just the back part that it covers over the truck bed.
Mhm.
I don't see it.
Email wasn't in this.
No, I don't have.
Correct, that's what I'm wondering.
I'm sorry, it should have been.
Thank you.
Why didn't you just put kennel in the back?
Why couldn't you put kennels? Well,
No,
they'd be uncovered, they'd be,
Yeah,
You know.
rain or snow.
these
I'm assuming
days,
he's
cold
gonna
in the
have
snow.
kennels. I don't think he's gonna throw them.
Yeah, but
Well-
I'm covering.
that's what he has right now. He has a crate in the back, but with the weather and stuff,
Not
that's why he wants the cap.
Yeah, it's kinda hard to justify picking somebody up for dog food, and then you
Oh,
take it
see?
at 20-degree
exactly.
weather, you do 50.
This where it was included, sorry.
So that's not, so we have no idea on the amount.
Well, I can look on my handy dandy phone.
You can, I'm assuming 1,000 or two.
They're, the last time I looked for my truck, they were between 2 and 3.
Okay.
That was new. I mean,
And then we'd be paying a third of that? Is that what you're saying?
About 6,500.
no, about, I was looking at entry level, which I assume he would be, they were around 2 or 3 brand new, 2 or 3,000.
So about 1,000 or so a piece is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't think they've come down in cost.
No,
Yeah,
that
it's like
was
a year.
now.
A year ago I was looking, and, yeah, they've gone up quite a bit.
The only thing that draws concern for me is what happens if we lose that DOC? Do we capture the cap and hope the next one has the same truck?
Oh, we could always sell it too,
Okay.
their money back. 'Cause like I said, they've gone up in value over,
Oh, yeah, I don't think it'd be a problem to resell it.
to sell it. Well, I think we can get it back. I don't think that would be a problem, as long as he knows that it's our property.
Or the three
The
townships.
3 towns, yeah. Yeah, that's,
Can I say Ann? I'm ready.
I mean,
Didn't know if you want to say.
unless he's looking at something different style,
Thank you, Matt.
because you can go up to 10 easily, you're talking
So
aluminum.
basically what I'm looking for here is approval to move forward, let them know that we will be part of it, ask for details, ask for quotes, and then maybe we can add that to the December 27th meeting, if it comes in time and to an approval then on the expenditure. But right now, it's whether or not we want to do it, period, and be involved, because I think that
Well, the other
I think
two
that the
towns-
Shazy board has to discuss it as well.
That's why she was checking to see if we were even talking about it, because if we weren't,
They weren't.
they weren't.
But do we, again, this isn't something that's been budgeted for, so is it something that's on that line item for the dog control officer? We have sufficient funds for that $600 to $700?
This year we do. We didn't have a whole lot of dangerous dogs, we didn't have, so yes, this year we do.
It might be somewhere between 6 and 1,000, is what I'm thinking. It's gonna land somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But it is cruel to have them being transported
It is.
without any kind of covering. I wouldn't
Yeah, it is a problem.
think that we would,
So that's my truck.
That's for darn sure.
But he needs to realize that that's the property of the towns,
He's hired by the
Yes,
town.
and there has to be some type of understanding there, so.
or the three towns, whatever.
Correct. So,
you know.
And Champlain and Beekmanstown, it sounds like, are willing to go.
no
with
shared
this.
services grant for something like that,
Yeah, that could be applied for.
because that is a shared service.
Yes, that could be applied for, definitely. Definitely.
Like you said, Brian, how can we, you know, say to people, when you're being cruel to your animals, if we're having them transported in a
Yeah.
open,
So what I'll do is I'll send an email to the county tomorrow, but that should qualify.
Yeah,
That
it
would be
really
good
would
if
be
it were,
perfect
yeah.
for it.
So what it would be is 50% would come back to be split amongst the three towns.
Right,
But when?
Oh, not for 2 years.
not for, right, a while, but
So
still,
we
it's future.
we purchase it this year, January, February.
well, we have the
We
money.
have to wait a full cycle of a year, 12 months. Then they put into the state for it, and typically it's 10, 12 months later before you get your funds.
Still.
It's a 2-year wait,
Endeavor.
basically.
So is, so is it a prerequisite when we hire a dog control officer that they have to have a truck? Evidently so.
No, I really, not that I know of.
No, I mean.
That's kind of
because-
Camp won't work in a car.
Yeah,
I mean, you're hiring somebody,
and they're gonna provide,
they should provide what they have to do the job. I mean, dog control officer gets paid pretty good, I think, but that's just my
Yeah, well,
Well,
opinion.
I don't know, it's a dangerous job, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't wanna do it.
Well,
You
he
couldn't
is-
pay me
so-
enough.
So just to clarify though, he is providing a vehicle. Um,
And we
It is coming
reimburse them
out
for
of-
mileage.
Yep. So it's just an added feature. I mean, I told you, when I just started this, I said, I got, qualms about it, like what do we do if he leaves us, if something happens to Jody, and we have somebody else that has a van. But as you pointed out, we could sell it, but if we sold it in the first year, we won't get a shared service grant.
Well, hopefully, let's not think pessimistically that we're not gonna have to.
No, and I think we should think positively whether or not we wanna help him with this or not.
So how has he been transporting now? Is he,
With a crate, right?
I believe a crate in the back of the truck.
which is,
yeah, that's not for the winter time.
And some of these dogs that you pick up are big dogs, of course, they could not have a truck or a van if they were just picking up little ones. But most of the time, the ones that seem to be roaming the streets are these big ones that
And unruly sometimes.
very unruly.
So do you want us to move forward with it and we'll get more details and cost?
yeah. See how
That's
many
what
other
this is about.
towns,
That's all we're
Yes,
trying to do.
Yes, we're
whatever
just,
municipalities are gonna go.
So there's
in.
no motions needed at this time?
No, not
Thank you.
really. Okay. Next one, provided you with a quote, a revised quote from BBG. We thought we had tabled it, but it doesn't show up in old business, so does it? No, it shows, I believe it got tabled. But regardless, this has the specificity added, I hope, that we were looking for. Do you want me to read it off? So it's, so digital marketing for a year is $5,000. That's creating, deploying social media on Facebook, 1 post per week, 52 total, including picture posts and video posts of the town and its highlights. Promote current videos on YouTube and Facebook to increase reach and awareness. Produce shorts, videos from existing Paul Frederick videos and footage, 15 to 30 seconds in length typically. They'll do 2 Google digital ad campaigns, design and deployment, one campaign targeting tourism, one campaign targeting economic development. That second one, I think is really important that we get started there. And we will use existing video footage to create social posts and Google Ads. So they have a note that they're gonna require all of Paul Frederick's video content to achieve this. I believe they already have that summer one, but regardless. One half-day photo shoot of photos of the area to use for social posts and Google Ads, and quarterly reports showing data of Google campaign results and web traffic, including pages visited and time spent on the website. And then the other half of that $10,000 fee, $5,000 for advertising spending. Bill would provide a credit card and charge as spent. Social media post boosting, Google and YouTube digital advertising expenses.
So it's $5,000
For each of those components, so it's a $10,000 contract that, we discussed at, budget time, and I thought we did it the last meeting as well. I'm not sure, but we wanted more detail in the quote because the marketing quote was very general.
for, oh, they,
It was very vague, yes.
That's every year.
Yes.
Unless we don't like it after the first year, then no.
I thought Sarah put all this stuff on our website, Facebook page.
Does, this is to push it out to a certain location though. Based on the,
is that something to do with the algorithms, or?
yeah, I wish Jason there to help explain it, but. Example, if they find, they're gonna try to push this out, for example, the economic side of it, you know, to Montreal, probably points in New England as well. To try to get economic development. The tourism, I don't know, they'll determine where to get that footage out, probably southern New York, Boston, I'm just guessing. But that's the type of thing they're doing, not just putting it on our Champlain Facebook page, but actually pushing it out to specific places.
I'm just curious what areas they're gonna target, like, to me, Montreal is pretty number one, I mean, it's
Right, a good place to.
it's a good place to start, and then, you know, Boston, New York, I don't know, but I'm not sure where we're going, you know, what they're gonna target, where they're gonna target.
That's what they had talked about targeting,
Yeah, but, I mean.
those areas.
if
They
it
don't have
doesn't-
those specifics in here because I think
Yeah.
that's gonna be a moving target. Depending on what they find
Right.
from their
So-
reports.
So are these campaigns for targeting tourism and targeting economic development,
Mhm.
are they gonna be revamped each year? Or are we going to have them create this once, and then that's it?
You know, I think it's gonna have to be it's just like any website, it's a work in progress. And so I would say yes, that gets revised as needed.
And is any of this negotiable? So for example, like, I'd like personally, if we're gonna pay this kind of money, I'd rather see exactly what the actual web traffic looks like on a more regular basis than every 3 months. So,
Is that what it's saying, every 3 months?
Yeah,
Quarterly
quarterly.
reports, I thought that's what we had asked for.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, that's all.
No? I thought that's what we talked about before, that's why it's in
Yeah,
there.
I just think that's a lot for, you know, it'd be nice to see exactly what's happening almost on a monthly basis, and then it's very easy for them to gather that information,
Well,
just so you know.
they could probably give us that data monthly,
Yeah.
but the report, I'm hoping, is a little more.
Well, we won't know if we don't receive
That's
something.
gonna describe the data.
I'd
And-
li-
and
I'd
the
like to
campaign
receive
results.
where the data's coming from on a monthly basis, just so it's gonna reinforce whether or not something like this is cost effective.
Yeah.
So how do you wanna address that?
Just ask him if the digital marketing for 12 months is negotiable in regards to the quarterly reporting, if that can be done on a monthly basis.
Right, in a more detailed.
I'm gonna say monthly data reporting.
Yeah.
Just say the last bulleted item on the digital marketing for 12 months, is that negotiable? Can we do that on a monthly basis versus quarterly?
Yeah, well, all right. So, we'll look for that revision and see if we can address that on the 27th? Is that what you're asking, or do you want it?
I mean, we can approve it if they, I guess if they can change that so it's more frequent is what I'm looking for.
Okay, so you wanna, if you wanna make a motion to approve it, if we add
That changed.
that change?
Correct.
Okay. And if not, then we'll have to readdress it.
Correct.
The thing is, I don't know what
I sure
we're
can.
comparing to.
What's that?
Yeah.
Well,
because-
and that's what this should be able to give us in terms of like where that web traffic's coming from. And we should be able to see a report that kind of details, where those IP addresses are
Well, that's
are
why-
from. And
I think it might be two separate reports, but that's why I put it as a bullet item, because I think what you're looking for is you wanna see where the data, where those hits are coming. But then I think quarterly, you're gonna get a report on what the campaign results are. I think it'll be more detailed, maybe I'm wrong, but either way, you're looking for monthly data reporting. You wanna know what the traffic is.
I'd like to see a monthly report on where the traffic looks like.
Yeah,
where it's coming
they
from.
will ask for, it might be two separate things, or they might just include it all.
So I'll make a motion that the marketing quote submitted by Boyer Benner Group in the amount of $5,000 for digital marketing and $5,000 for advertising spending will be approved as long as the last bulleted item in the digital marketing can be changed to show monthly reports showing web traffic. Yeah, it's very easy for them to submit something like this on a monthly basis, so we know exactly each individual
Right.
page that's being hit and where that traffic's coming from.
So can we get a second and I'll add something? Get a second, here's
I'll
motion.
second.
Okay, so if they come back and go, we will supply monthly data reports of traffic and then quarterly comprehensive reports, that would be fine as well.
Depends on the comprehensive force, what are they covering? So that's what I want to know, are we talking just the actual tourism and the economic development?
No, that's what they're saying.
That's what I'm wondering.
It's the Google campaign results and the web traffic. So I'll see if it's different or not, I'm just clarifying that.
Right.
I don't know, I never thought it would be $10,000 a year. That was shocking to me. But then again,
And that was,
we don't know because we don't know what another group would charge us. You know what I mean? We went
it
with
was,
this
it
group
was,
and.
it was originally 30. I talked them down to 10,
Wow,
yeah.
holy guacamole.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, after a year, we'll have to see what,
Yeah.
And
well,
that's what- and
we gotta
that's
see
what I
the
mean.
results.
if we got everything.
Correct.
Yeah, if it's not,
I
if
mean,
it's
if
not,
it's not helping,
Yeah.
why keep paying $10,000 a year?
we'll see what the results are.
Right. Well,
Correct.
that's the only way to.
Could I have a
judge it.
roll call, please?
Councilmember Rochester,
Aye.
Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Councilmember Hunter,
Aye.
Supervisor Trombley.
Aye. Okay.
And you let us know on the meeting of the 27th what the results were.
Yeah, we're all sending an email ahead of time. Okay, next thing is transfers. You all got a copy of this? This is a transfer for budget account, December 2023. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to read them off. I can't think of a way to lump these. You agree?
Yeah, because they're going in
I
different
know.
areas or different accounts, so.
I agree, so what, I'm gonna read this off, so. From A 1990-400 contingency, $9,000, and from A 1450-400, the election contractual, $1,050. Going to A 1220-400, supervisor contractual, $150. A 1410-400, clerk contractual, $50. A 1680-400, computer contractual, $6,100. A 1910-400, insurance contractual, $3,700. A 5010-400, highway administration contractual, $25. And A 5182-400, street lighting contractual, $25. I have a motion to approve those transfers, that's a lot.
I do them all, do them
Do
all.
them all?
Yeah.
Okay. Next, from B 9901-900, transfer other funds from youth, excuse me. 4,250, I know. To B 1990-400, safety inspection, $3,000. To B 7145-400, joint recreation projects, $1,250.
I have a question on this. What is this safety inspection? What is that?
That's like Chris for the code, his code officer contractual. That's for like his, software, his uniforms, his stuff
Okay.
like that.
Thank you.
Okay, from DB 5112-400, road construction contractual, $30,250. To DB 5130-202, machinery equipment, $30,250. Then from SW 78310-409, water testing, $130. To SW 78310-408, water utility.
So what was the movement for that utility? What is that water utility? What is that?
The utility was more than guesstimated for the budget, so we had extra in testing, so I was just moving
So you
it.
needed the extra one there? Okay,
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion to approve transfers for budget accounts as read.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second that.
Thank you.
I should give them to you, Ann. That way you can get all your seconds in.
Well, I have 5 minutes, I have to get my buttons over to
Yep.
the fire.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, whole business, water code amendment. I don't know about you, I went through it because I helped Jason get to that point. Have you reviewed it all? Are we good with it? And I haven't heard from Chris, I just gotta check with Chris, see what his review has been.
I guess I'm good with it.
Okay.
But Chris should
Yeah,
see, you know.
I know, I don't think he's gotten back to me.
Is that something that we can improve on the 27th? I'm just asking because Jason will be here and he was part of the process.
If I can get the, it's gonna be a bear of a resolution to get all those changes in there. So that really should be done on a more of a regular board meeting, probably January. I gotta build a resolution that's going to talk about all those revisions to that code.
Yep.
It has to, and that would be to present it, and then it ages for 30 days. And then we have a public hearing, and then it gets approved hopefully.
Right.
So, I don't think, I can try to get it ready, and if I do, additional business on the 27th. They don't keep throwing more grant paperwork at me. That's what took up this past month, is
Yeah,
there's really both of those. So, if you agree, I'll try to shoot for that, if we miss it, we'll try to hit the January deadline.
yeah. It's better not to rush it, better to get it right than,
Yeah, well, whatever I draft will then go to Matt for approval.
Correct.
Okay?
Yeah.
Credit card policy, has anybody reviewed that? 'Cause
I sent you an update.
an update
It was emailed.
from this one,
It was in an email the other day.
just the other day?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
I'll
sent
check.
to everybody with all the changes. I can read them to you if you'd like. There's not that many.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So in the credit card policy, we changed the Roman numeral 2, section 5, to state that a credit card charge will not exceed 30% of the credit card's credit limit or $6,000 without the approval of the town supervisor and town secretary. These charges will be reported to the town board.
Okay.
And also, as a result, that $6,000 comes from Roman numeral 2, section B, which is that all credit cards will be issued to one of the authorized town depositories, and a credit card will have a credit limit of $20,000.
Okay,
Okay?
Yeah.
sounds good.
And then Roman numeral 2, section D, each credit card must be authorized by the town of Champlain governing board before it may be issued for any use, semicolon, the town secretary and town highway superintendent are the only town personnel to have credit card authorization, as noted.
Yeah.
And then the last piece is we consolidated Roman numeral 3, sections C and D, so that now section C will read, each month, all credit card holders will compare their credit card receipts with corresponding monthly credit card statements to verify each transaction's accuracy. Then, each credit card statement, along with related receipts / invoices, will be submitted to the town's secretary for monthly credit card statement reconciliation. Claims without receipts and/or documentation will be the personal financial responsibility of the cardholder.
Okay, like some of those pertain to
And those were the changes that you were looking to actually have analyzed, correct? And that's why I emailed it, so that people could have it before tonight, so it could be one more piece off the old business.
So, if you send me the document,
You have it in your
yeah,
email.
we could, I must have missed it, but, we could probably get that ready for approval. That one's gonna be just board approval, it's a policy,
Correct.
it's not a code. And add it to our policies.
In the January meeting, when you do all the policies.
Yeah. Yeah, we can make this a separate approval because it's new.
Sounds good?
Yes, that's fine.
Let's do it.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
And then revision of chapter 17, we haven't got to that. Okay, thank you, Ann. You're welcome for another obligation this time.
See you on the 27th?
Yep.
Chapter 17 I have not gotten to yet. Do you know what that is? It's the one that's listing all of our papers and radio stations, et cetera,
Mhm.
that we don't use. So I just need to look into either revise it or abolish it. I don't even know if we need it, so I need to check with Matt on that. 'Cause
Well, we need to have something in terms of, that identifies how we communicate.
well, we do it every year at the organizational
Annual
meeting.
meeting,
We appoint those, we do a designation, I mean.
Correct.
Of those, and that's what we go by.
Right.
So people know where to look.
You know, until this was brought to our attention, I didn't realize that we listed them in chapter 17, so. I'd like to find out if we, to me, it's kind of antiquated to have it there. It's too expensive and hard to change. You know, like if we move forward and we put Press Republican,
Well,
and then they go out of business, now we've got to update our code.
I don't think you have to update, you could update it once, and all you have to do is state that at our,
At our
January organizational meeting, each of
Yeah.
these
Yeah,
are identified with, and that way you don't have to do it more than once.
I agree with that one.
Just
But again,
once
I
a-
don't know if I'll get to that. It's lower on the, it's a higher fruit, not a lower fruit.
It's not quite right.
Exactly. But yes, that would be a great way to handle it. Okay, our next business meeting is scheduled for January 9th, 2024. As we prepare for that meeting, do we wish to stay with 7 o'clock? Or do we,
Yeah.
I know we moved it mostly for AM, but I think that our,
I'm happy with
clerk-
7.
I like 7 versus 6, to be
okay,
very honest with you. How are you with that?
I'm fine.
there too. I wanted to bring that up before we get to the meeting and somebody really
Mhm.
wanted something different. That's fine. So, January 9th, 2024, 7 PM. Now I need a motion.
Do you wanna, I give that, estimate to the general code.
Do we need to approve that? Is that what you're looking for? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want it done.
Yep.
Is there something
Then I
that
do.
needs to be discussed or done with this?
That was what I talked about in my report. People they need to go online and fill out that survey.
Right.
That includes all of us. I've done mine. Anybody else, go online, let us know where basically you're letting us know where you think we should start spending those dollars from that little grant.
Okay.
Whether it be lighting on the rec trail or a crossing, a crosswalk. You gotta categorize them. What's the most important and what's the least?
Yep.
So we can get started properly.
But you'll find that on our website, and you'll also find it on our Facebook page
Correct.
for that link.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so, one more, this should have been done new business, so we're gonna add this to new business. We have a general code estimate, this is for local law number 1, local law number 2, local law number 3, and local law number 4 that were submitted from January last year till October, from January this year till October of this year, excuse me. And they gave us a quote to write those into code. And it is for all 4 of them. And they are estimating between $25.59 and $2,925.
And that will come out of this year's budget?
Sarah thought next year.
Next
I
year.
think it'll come out of next year's.
So
We
we're a year
probably
behind.
won't get the bill until,
And I think that's what happened last year too.
well, we're not really, well, I say a year behind, but we can't send them in until we
Correct.
do all the laws.
Right, so it's kind of the way it happened last year. We did several new laws, then it went to general code, and then.
Do you recall what we budgeted for that?
Off the top of my head, no.
I think it was more than that. but
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't want to swear to it, but I'm pretty sure it was more than 3,000.
The less things we do, the cheaper it'll
What's that?
be. I said the less things we do, the cheaper it'll be.
Yeah, well, that's just it, we're doing things, so it's gonna cost some money. I mean, these all got put into place, they're passed. They have to go in the building. They have to be codified, I should say. Would be the right term.
I'll make a motion, we accept their estimate.
And authorize that cost.
Up to the maximum amount of,
2925, $2,925.
a second.
Thank you, can I have roll call, please?
Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Councilmember Hunter,
Aye.
Supervisor Trombley.
Aye. Thank you. So now I need a motion to, well, that was just for information on this, we can talk about it. That was just, I provided this and I threw it the email, you probably saw that to Tim Emmerich,
Yeah.
working, and it was in my report, that this is to do with the alarms. Currently, we're still not wired in, and it only gives us one alarm, and basically that's if we hit a low pressure. And according to the project manual, we're supposed to get at least 3. So I was pushing for them to try to give us what we paid for, and this is what they've come up with, so I think we're gonna get there at the end of the day. So that's kind of where we're at. Basically, I believe pipeline is complete. We have to look at their invoices and tomorrow and determine if everything's correct there. It's left now to the vendor that we bought the booster station from to supply what he said he was supplying, and that's what this is about. Just giving you the details of the alarms.
Okay.
And nobody had, Chris or no one had any problem with the alarm setup that he's going, it looks like they're going to be doing. That's what would work.
Correct.
That's okay.
Correct, and I also bounced it to Mike Metcalf, the engineer at AES, and Jen, and Mike replied back, no, that's perfect, that's what we need, according to the project manual.
Mhm.
So let's hope they can pull that off. Now I need to enter executive session, so I'd like a motion to recess the regular meeting.
I make a motion that we leave the regular meeting and go into executive session at this time.
And that's for the discussion of employment history.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
I make a motion that we come out of executive session and go back into regular session at this time.
Thank you.
And I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
And nothing was, no actions were taken in executive session, it was purely discussion. Now I'd like a motion to adjourn the regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the regular meeting.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.